Hello, all of you. I'm here to discuss something important with you all today that is very important for your exam. The government had decided to suspend the question hour for the monsoon session, and there has been a huge uproar over it. Now, let us try to understand what actually question hour is. Why is it important? Question hour is like the first hour of parliament starts with question hour, and it was the case for both the houses until in 2014 the then chairman of Rajya Sabha, Mr. Hamid Ansari, shifted it by 1 hour. So now question hour in Rajya Sabha starts by 11 a.m. and in Lok Sabha it's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, what it actually is, it's the time during which the MPs ask a question to ministers and hold them accountable for their functioning. They can also ask questions to any non-minister, but it rarely happens. The idea behind this question hour is that the elected government, the executive, is responsible to the legislature, that is the lawmaking body, the parliament. And through question hours, the opposition MPs or at times their own MPs, they seek questions, they seek their inquiries, whatever they want to confront the government upon, and ministers have to reply to it. Now, it is up to the presiding officers of both the houses, that is, Speaker in case of Lok Sabha and Chairman in case of Rajya Sabha, to decide anything regarding the conduct of question hour. It is actually largely based on their view how it will be conducted. That's why the then Chairman, Mr. Ansari, shifted it by 1 hour. Now, there are certain rules that are to be followed, that questions have to be limited to just 150 words. They need to be precise and they should not be generalized in nature. They must be relating to an area of responsibility of the government of India, and it should not seek answers to any secret matter or something that is subjudiced. Now, what is subjudiced? Any matter on which a competent court is contemplating upon is said to be subjudiced. After the court has pronounced its verdict, it does not become it does not remain subjudiced. So subjudiced is anything that is pending before the court for them to pronounce a verdict. So you cannot ask any subjudiced matter in the question hour. Also, it has been this time it has been suspended because of the corona pandemic. The monsoon session of parliament, which is upcoming now, the government said that during monsoon session, because of the corona pandemic, we will be doing away with the question hour. So earlier also it has happened in 1962, in 1975, in 1991, 2004, 2009. During these years the question hour was suspended. Now there comes a very important criticism, and these things were in various newspapers, the English dailies, and rightly so, that the suspension of question hour means that opposition would lose the right to question the government. Now the MPs would not be in a position to hold the government accountable for their action, which goes against the spirit of parliamentary democracy. See, theoretically speaking, this is 100% correct. If the MPs cannot question the ministers, then where is the accountability? But when we go into details, we see that government actually asked all the parties. They asked all parties that because we are having corona times, we are living into corona times, the pandemic has affected each and everyone. So can we just do away with the question hour? So except for one party, that is TMC, the Trinamool Congress, all other parties agreed to it. Even the opposition parties agreed to it. And in the past 6 years, this is a fact that you can verify from the PRS and PIB sites, that in the past 6 years, 60% of the total time that was allotted to the question hour has remained unutilized. So of course, it makes sense to do away with question hour for now. And TMC, which has objected to it, interestingly, Mr. Biman Banerjee, the Speaker of West Bengal Legislative Assembly, has agreed to do away with question hour in Bengal Assembly because of the corona pandemic. So Bengal Assembly itself has agreed, but the party that is in majority in Bengal Assembly, the TMC, is not ready to scrap question hour, and they are criticizing it. So they have their own reasons for that. We must not go into the political nature of this entire context that we are talking about. Let us confine ourselves to what is important for our exam. So what exactly question hour is, and why it is important, why it has been suspended currently, and it happens on every day. On every working day it happens, except for 2 days, that is the president's address to the parliament and when the finance minister presents the budget. Now, when does the president address the parliament? The every session, the every new Lok Sabha, when it is elected, it has to be addressed by the president of India. And every new session, of a fiscal year, that is also addressed by the president. So on these 2 days, whenever the president is addressing the session, there shall be no question hour. And when the finance minister is presenting the budget, that day there shall not be a question hour. And it is up to the presiding officer of the house to admit a question from any MP and decide whether the government or whether any minister will answer it. So these are the things that I wanted to talk to you about question hour. In prelims point of view, it will be, for your prelims point of view, it can be important to what question hour is, why is it important, and what happens during a question hour, which I have already mentioned in the video. From your main perspective, for your main exam perspective, they can ask you a question that the parliamentary democracy has been compromised or it's a threat to parliamentary democracy. So you should start your answer like, yes, this is because the MPs question the government and they make them more accountable, more responsible. But you must also mention the fact that government consulted all the parties and there is just one party which objected to it, and that one party has agreed to the same process in its own assembly. So it's not like, and it has happened before also. I have mentioned all the years. So write a balanced answer and then also quote the corona pandemic that is happening, which has called for such things to shorten the to do away with the question hour. So that is what I wanted to convey to you. I'll be making more videos to keep you all updated. Thanks to all.